crafty hellos and welcome back to my channel. Big hello to you all, hope you're all doing well. Yeah, I've got another one-page wonder here for you. So this is a one-page wonder from a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and it folds up and it's multi-pocketed. So let's have a look. So the top flap here opens up with some Velcro, and then very first space here we've got a pocket. Okay, then as you open up this layer, here we've got a tuck spot, and then this opens up to the left. Okay, then on the inside we've got two spaces for photos and a space for journaling, and I put some little quotes along here which I'll show you how to do in a moment. And then finally inside there's three spaces down the bottom, and these are for tags to go into. Okay, so there's just tags. I haven't put tags in here because obviously people who ever get this might want to put in some ticket stubs, maps, any memorabilia from the holiday. So that's what's going to happen down those three pockets there. And then up here I've got two further journaling spaces and another space for photographs. Okay, I've left these bits blank because I just love the paper. Okay, so that folds up. Put these two ones down, fold over, and then shut. Okay, let's show you how to make it. Okay, so the first scores we're going to make are at 4, 4 1/4, 8 1/4, and 8 1/2. Okay. So put your paper on your scoreboard, and it's 4, 4 1/4, which is 2 marks in from the 4. This creates a little gusset so your pages fold over without them buckling. Then 8 1/4, and then 8 1/2. Which again creates those little tram lines like so, and that becomes the spine of the book. You're then going to rotate your paper 90 degrees and score at 4 3/4, which is the same as 4 6/8, so 6 marks along, and then at 9 1/2. There we go, and that's all of our scoring complete. So what we need to do now is obviously fold on all of those lines. I'm going to do the last two I've just scored first of all. So making sure that my edges meet up when I fold, and burnishing. Same for this one. Now when you've got two lines together like this, it's sometimes really hard to get them folded. So what I do is bring in my ruler and I butt that up against the first edge where the score line is, and kind of like bring that up to give it a start when you're folding. And then again with the second line, bring your ruler in and just with your fingers just pull it along the edge, and that just makes that fold a little bit easier. Again, lining up your edges to make sure that there's no misaligning from where you've scored. There we go. And then we do the same on the other side. So ruler up against, start it off, and then ruler up again, and that should make it a lot easier to fold those tiny little sections. There we go. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it this way, is we've got our two tramways now, which is this way up. I've got my smaller section at the top and then my two larger sections down the bottom. So small section and my two larger sections. What I'm going to do with scissors is we're going to cut out this tramway line up to here, and this tramway line here and here. So what I always like to do when I'm cutting these out is I always, where the score mark is, just cut to the right of that. Okay, so that will give you the gap you need when you fold up your book. And then on this side, where you see your score mark is, I'm just going to come to the left of that one. Okay, and then just snip that little part out. And again on this side, just to the left of the score line. I usually use my trimmer because I'm really, as you can tell here, that's not straight. But I will trim that up later. Just to the right. Okay, so we have that there. And then I'm going to turn the paper around and then do exactly the same on these two little tram lines here. These are slightly smaller ones. So to the left of that one. And to the right. Okay, and then the same on this side. Excuse me. Cut to the left and then to the right. And then trim that little part out. So this will give us our basic folds. So this one comes up, up, up. We have a flap come down, our flap come down, and our flap come down. And then the left hand goes in over, leave this part up. Left part goes over, right part comes over. Now what you do need to do now is on this part here, because we've got that thick section here, I'm going to put this back onto my scoreboard, and where that line is there, I'm just going to bring it up 1/8 of an inch and just score. Okay, so I'm going to butt that top part up. I'm going to just put another score line in, okay, 1/8 of an inch, because that's going to give it again that little part of that gap, so this all folds together nice and neatly. So we have our left hand side fold over, our right hand side fold over, and then we have our top part like this. Okay, that's all the scoring and cutting done. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my corner rounder. I'm going to round the corners of the top flaps only. Okay, I'm going to keep these ones as they are because I'm going to put pockets on them. So bring in my corner rounder. Okay, there we go. So fold, over, fold, and over, and then our top. Okay, and there we have our little multi-pockets. Now, there comes the fun part, which is decorating it. Now, I've already made, like you've seen before, here's one I've already made earlier, as they say, and I've gone ahead on this one, and I've inked all around the edges, so all around these pockets when you first open it up, and then all the way around on the insides as well. Now, the paper pad I'm using for this is this one. Okay, Capture This Moment by Craft Sensations. This is a 12 by 12 pad, and I bought this at the Range, and I do believe they still have these in the Range at the moment. So obviously there shows you all the different papers, holiday theme, with an Italian theme in it. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so that is the paper pad I've used. Obviously, you'll use the paper pad to decorate these however you want to. So the first thing I've done when I've opened this all up, I've corner rounded here and inked all the edges. So down these bottom 3 sections here, I'm going to create these pockets. Now, when you come to do this, this will now measure 3.5 inches, and these sections measure 4 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to pop some glue around the edges to create little pockets down the bottom here. It would help if I undid the glue. It's hot here in the UK at the moment. We don't do well with heat. So a little bead of glue around the 3 edges and pop that there for a pocket. And then I'm going to do the same with these 2 sections here. Whoop. Just going to quickly do my glue first. I've actually bought, I'm not allowed them yet because it's my birthday on Monday, and I've bought myself the little bottles that you decanter glue into with the very fine tip ends, because I'm finding, me being the clumsy person I am, tend to put glue everywhere and don't actually get it where I want it. So I've treated myself to some of those, well, my husband has for my birthday. There we go. So just double checking I haven't gone over the lines. There we go. So I've got my 3 pockets down the bottom. Now, what I've done for this section here is, because obviously this is again another kind of travel folio, travel journal, I've cut some panels out from the paper pad and inked around the edges of these as well. And these 2 here measured 3 3/4 by 4 1/2. So that's what the larger panels were. And I needed 4 of those because I'm going to have 2 on the inside, and I'm putting 2 on these panels here. And then this panel here, I needed 2 of those, and that measured 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And that's to go on this panel here. So I've gone ahead and corner rounded those and inked around the edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add those now. Now the reason why I've done them like this and I'm leaving them plain is because these ones have got lines on them. So obviously they're going to be really good for people to write journals on. And then these ones are going to be used as photo mats. Okay, so that one's going to go in there. And I'm having this one on that side and one in the middle. And on the outside, it will go the opposite way. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like when I finished. So these are just going to be glued down flat because obviously whoever has this journal is going to be able to write. I am thinking about opening either an Etsy store or creating my own website, because I make lots and lots of things, and obviously some of them I do use for personal use. However, a lot of things I don't. And I can do craft fairs and things like that, but I'm wondering whether setting up some kind of shop might be beneficial. If you've got your own Etsy shop, please, you know, give me your thoughts below. Does it work? Is it expensive to run? Yeah, I'd love to know, because we make all these beautiful things and it would be lovely to be able to share them with other people by selling them. And then we have our last panel here. There we go. So just making sure that they're lined up centrally. There we go. So we have journaling spots, photo spots, tag spots, and obviously things like you collect on holiday, such as ticket stubs, maps, anything else that you want to put in there. Then I'm going to put all of these flaps up, and I'm going to do the same process for the outside. Okay, but this time it's the opposite way round. I'm a bit conscious now speaking on my videos because someone said the other day that they couldn't hear me. So obviously I advise them how to use the CC button. You can always use a little CC at the top that gives you subtitles. But I've never had a problem hearing myself, and nobody else has ever had a problem hearing, I don't think. So yeah, it was a bit of a strange comment. I'm not quite sure what went wrong there. Might have been a problem her end. I try to speak as loud as I can. Okay, in the middle. And our last one here. There we go. Now, from the pad as well, I cut out these little sayings. I trimmed them down and I've just corner rounded the edges. So I'm going to pop those I think like that. So this one says, capture this moment, travel like a dictionary definition, and then wanderlust, a strong desire to wander or travel and explore the world. I certainly am looking forward to my summer holiday this year. There we go. So I'm just going to pop those in here, and it's quite nice because all these colours coordinate with inside the pad, so you don't have to worry about whether things go together or not. It's all done for you. Another thing I'm wanting to try out is people do like kits online, so you buy I can't think what they're called. There's so many beautiful ones. I bought some butterflies and some birds the other day. Digitals, that's the one. Digital kits. So you go on to Etsy and you buy them. Yeah, so I bought certain things like Tracy Fox does a really good one with all labels in. I bought that before. But yeah, I'm thinking about buying one of those as well. So if you've got any recommendations for those, please let me know. Okay, I'm leaving these panels blank because I did quite like that as they are. And obviously once you put your things in here, this will be covered. Then I put that like that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is when this is closed, there's quite a blank space here. So what I've done is I've cut out again something from the pad, and I'm going to pop that down there, glued on two sides, just to create a little tuck spot in there. So this side and the bottom. And I always like to leave just a little border, just so you can see the paper underneath. Okay, and that's there. I'm not going to put anything to stick these down, because obviously if I put Velcro, that's another thing, I want to get some magnets, but it does obviously lift the paper up from behind, or you'll have a piece of Velcro on here. So I'm just going to leave these as they are. They are fine to just, they stay down once it's closed anyway. So the last thing I'm going to have to do, and just realise that that is sticking out there. So I'm just going to trim that. I've got my scissors at the right angle. There we go. So the last thing I'm going to do, which is obviously now going to be the front cover. So what I've decided to do is make a pocket, okay, and that's going to just go in there. So again, glue down those three sides. And again, leaving a little border around each side. And then I will, on this top part, be putting some Velcro. So I've got this on a roll and I just snip off. So I want quite a thin part. says hook and eye. So I need to work out as this comes down. I can have that just slightly on there. It's a necessity to keep it closed, but it doesn't make it look very pretty. But, so I always stick one side down first, then peel off the other side, and then pull that down to close. There we go. And then that's just in the right place for opening. And then the last thing I've got on top was this little die cut. It says Hello Summer. And I'm just going to pop that down with some glue on the outside. And then finally, another little quote here. It says, the sand may brush off, the salt may wash away, the tan lines may fade, but the memories will last forever. And that's just going to go on that bottom part there. There we go. Again, you could put a pocket on the back if you want to. I'm going to leave that plain at the moment. And there we go. So opening up with our first pocket here. We then open with a tuck spot. Fully open up so we can have journaling space, photo space. And then opening up the middle, 3 pockets down the bottom, 2 journaling spaces and another space for photos. All from one sheet of 12 by 12. So there we go. Another little one-page wonder for you. Hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe if you're loving my channel. Thanks very much and see you all again soon. Bye.